Good evening, good morning, friends. So yesterday, like we discussed, few topics in security, right? What is authentication, what is authorization, what is login, what is user, what are the server level roles, what are the uses of those server level roles, right? And also we discussed about the few kind of database level roles and some other pending for database roles to give explanation, right? So yesterday in the database level roles, we discussed until uh, data reader, we discussed data writer, we discussed, and DB deny data reader, we discussed. Today we are going to discuss about data deny data writer, DDL admin, and a DB owner, DB security admin, and backup operator, and public. And also we are going to discuss about schemas and user level, database level roles, and some other object level permissions we are going to discuss. Okay, let's start a class practical along with theoretical discussions. Okay, so let me recap a little bit for the database level roles. So what is the purpose of data reader? Yesterday we discussed, right? If any user wants to run any select statement, that scenario, we can create a login and we can map that login to the database. Whenever you map that login to that database, automatically one user will create associated with that particular login and he can able to run the select statement. Suppose the user wants to insert and write the permission, write the data into the database, then what we can do? We can create a login or account on the server level. Just we can assign that role to that particular database. Then accordingly, that particular account will create and you can able to do the write and insert operations. So here, what is the purpose of deny data writer? So yesterday we discussed, right, the similar to data deny reader. If the person having data reader, he cannot able to perform select statements. Then what is the purpose of deny data reader? As per the yesterday practical, what we proved, if the person having in the granular database level security, if someone provided the grant permission on select statement, he can able to perform select statement. That scenario we can deny. If you want to not to do any select statement, if you provide data deny reader, then the database level role, it will take highest priority and it won't allow any select permissions. That is the purpose of data deny reader. Now let's discuss about the data deny writer. So before that, let's again go for the data reader one more time. Then we'll go for again discuss data deny writer permission. So I'm going to create one account. So like the user comes and they're asking, I need insert write permission on the database. So I'm creating like one account. Login. Yeah. App one. Write permission. I'm giving the password. Let me give you the password. As we discussed yesterday, we have to uncheck these two options and check only enforce password policy, and you have to give the strong password. Okay. Give the login name, then go to user mapping, then go to particular database, then give the data writer permission. I'm going to script out to show the T-SQL. Yes. So what it will do, first it will create the login with password. Then after that, it will map that login to the database with the same name as a user. After that, it will add the data reader role to that particular user. So in the interview, they will ask the syntax. What is the syntax to provide the data like a write permission, insert permission. Then scenario, we have to give alter is the keyword, role is the keyword, and after that, the third keyword, the permission, which what are they want, what are they want to required permission, we have to mention. After the fourth keyword, we have to give add. The fifth keyword is member. Then the last the word, the user which you want to map it. So here, third and fifth, we have to specify the role of the permission, and fifth, the member of the person we want to give. So this is the T-SQL. We can go, or else directly we can go and create the login or account from the graphical user interface. I'm going to create the T-SQL. Here, no need to remember all the syntax. We can go up and create graphical user interface. But sometimes the interview will ask how to create the login and how to create the and how to provide the permission using T-SQL. So that is the reason we have to remember this T-SQL. So I have created the uh, right permission. Right permission to app one account. Okay. So let me go to Adi lab. Let me take tables. Let me take let me log into the account which I created. So here I created the account app 1W with SQL authentication. Okay. So go for SQL Server authentication. Give the username app1W and password. And connect. So Here what have we given? We have given the permission to insert the table, like all the tables in the database. Okay. So here I given the permission to the app one user to insert the or to write the data to the all the tables in the Adi Lab database. So once we give the permission, once you log into that particular account, as I mentioned yesterday, you can able to see the all the database in that particular SQL server, but you cannot do any operations apart from Adi Lab. If you go for Adi, you won't get the access. If you go for this database, you won't get the access except Adi Lab database. So now I'm going to do some operations on Adi Lab. I have already number is there. Number yeah, the person able to insert the data. Why? Because we have given that particular user to write or insert permission. So let me try to run the select statement. Okay. Select star from bank accounts. See here, he is getting select permission is denied. Why? Because we have given only the right permission, not for the insert permission. Okay. So in this scenario, what is the purpose of uh, giving data, giving denied data of right permission? 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Don't come. If I go for here, go for security, then go for roles, go for database roles, writer, deny data writer. Yeah. Well, let's. So here the person is not able to perform in his select statement. Why? Because we have given only data insert permissions. Okay. Let me go to create one more account called like a write write permission. Then we'll go for both difference. Go for security. Create a login. New login. App rate. Include. Then go for user mapping. Then select the database which you want to give. Then go for data reader. Then go for script. Script new query window. Minimize. I logged in as a this server as an admin. I'm executed. Let me try to connect the read account which I created on the AdiLab database. Let me connect read account. Select SQL Server authentication. Can give the read account. Give the password. Go for connect. Yeah. So you can do the same operations for the right account. So I'm going to run the command against that particular database. So if you want to run it, go for AdiLab, new query, or else you can go and select the database, or else maybe you can use database name. So that the connection will go to that particular database. So why? Because if you open the new query directly, sometimes it will go to master or maybe some other database based upon the cursor which you kept. So we have to be careful while running the any update, insert, any other DDL operations. We have to make sure, be careful. We have to check where the connection is going on. So for that, we can check two areas. In the top, you can see that icon, which database we are going to run. And in the bottom, we can see which server, which login, which database we are going to run the account. So right now, I connected the named instance with read-only account on AdiLab database. So this account, I have given the read permission. I'm going to run the select statement. You can able to perform. The same thing I'm going to perform insert operations. So is getting the insert permission, uh, insert permission error. So here the person having data reader is not able to write the operations. Then what is the purpose of giving data deny writer? Here the person which is having insert permission is not able to perform the select statement. Then what is the purpose of deny data reader permission? So here if you provide the object level grant permission, that scenario you can able to perform the activity. Let me give those granular level permission to that particular account. Then we'll see is able to perform the activity or not. So right now, the write permission, go to the security, this account, the login name app1w. In the user mapping, we mapped only that particular user like kind of a login. When we mapped the login to the database, the user, the associated login will create, and the permission we have given as a data writer. We did not given any select permission in the role level. But if someone grant the object level, how can we grant? Go for database, go for AdiLab, then go for security, then go for user. The user, what are the users? Like we created in the, like we are mapping in the security level. So what are the logins? See here, what are the security we are seeing in the Initially, that is the server level. That is a login. So yesterday what we discussed, if someone asked, I need the user, I need the account, that means we have to create the login first, then we have to map the database, then automatically user will create that particular databases in the security level. So that is the reason if you go to the database under security, we can see the users. Here we did not create the users, but whenever we creating the login, once we map that particular login to the database, the users are creating automatically. So here what we are going to do, we are going to give the select permission on the read account in the object level. So how I am going to grant that user, right click, go to properties, then go to securities. So if you want to see the what permission that user, if you go to membership, we can see we have given only data writer. But now what we are going to do, we are going to give some object level grant permission. So for that, how can I give? Go to the database, then go to the user, that particular user, properties, then go to securable thing, then you have to go for search. Once we search, it will ask, do you want to specified objects or all the objects? Just click all the objects, then click OK. So here it is asking which objects you want to give object level or securable level permissions. So right now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give select permission on the tables. If you want to give, you can give user defined functions and stored procedures and some other as well. We can see the stored procedure. If they want to run any stored procedure, we have to click here. So here I'm going to give the for tables select permissions. Why? Because in the database level role we have given write permission, not for the select permissions. So here in the bank account, I'm going to give the select permission. Go for select, then let me go for T-SQL. This is a very important interview ask. How can I give the particular table select permission? How can I give the insert permission to the multiple tables or single table? That scenario, what we need to do, we have to come to the database level, go to the particular database user, and we have to go for securables. Then you have to select the tables, what are the we want, and we have can given. For T-SQL, how can we give? Just script it. We can see the grant level syntax. So the syntax is like the grant is a keyword, and after the second keyword, what are the grant you want to give? Select. If you want to give select, you can mention select. If you want to give insert, you have to mention insert. If you want to update, you have to mention update. After that, the third keyword, the object. The object may be table, the object may be view, the object may be stored procedure. Then the after two, the keyword is what are the user you want to give that particular grant permission. So the interview will expect the syntax like this. So the interview asks, I need the select permission, the particular table, how can I give it? So the keyword is like grant select on that particular object to the user you have to mention. I'm going to execute. So here I have given the select permission on the object level, but in the role level I did not given. So now you can just refresh and execute the same syntax which we performed previously. Yeah. So here I connected as a I connected to the Adi lab named instance. I connected as a application one write account. Okay. Let me try to enter the value. He can able to enter. Why? Because he has write permission. The account is the data is inserted. Previously, once we enter the data, he is trying to see the data, what of the data is entered correctly or not. Previously, he got the error, but now he can able to run the select statement. Why? Because he has in the database object level, we have provided select permissions. Let me go and execute. Maybe the connection still it's pointing to the previous connection. Let me close this one. Go for Adi Lab. Right click. New query. We got error. Why? Because what are the session opened that is related to previous session at that time. While we ran as a that time he has only write permission, not the select. Let me why I did. Maybe let me try to connect one more time. Disconnect. Go to connect. Okay, I connected. Let me run again. So if I open the new query, it will go to the by default master. So what you can do, you can go for use. Or else we can go for Adi Lab. Or else you can mention these things. Let me execute. Which I given. Bank accounts did not given. Adi Lab. Then go for Adi Lab. Bank accounts app W1. Let me check. Let's go to security. Did I give a app W1? Go for user mapping. Data rate only correct. Oh, see, here I given the permission to backup bank accounts, not for the bank accounts. So I have given the permission to the bank accounts backup. That is the reason I'm getting the error. So what I need to do, I have removed backup. So here I have given the wrong table select permission in the granted level. Let me execute. So now I have given the proper table. Okay. Previously, why? Because I have given the permission to backup bank accounts, not for the bank accounts. Now let me try to run execute. See, now he was able to get the data, even though we did not provide the data reader permission. So in this scenario, how can you avoid those select permissions? What we can do? Go to the app W1 in the as administrator account, then go to properties, then go to user mapping, then go and give the deny data reader. So in the server level, I'm giving data reader and deny reader, and in the object level, I have given select permissions. So in this scenario, which account, like which permission it will take. So I logged in as a lab instance. I connected as a right account. Then I try to insert some data. I was able to get the data. Now let's try to fetch the data. See, now he got the permission denied. Why? Because in the database level, we have given deny data reader. So what are the roles? What are the permissions are coming from the role level? That is the highest level role taken place. So even though you have grant in the object level, the object level permissions has a low level priority compared to database level role permissions. So that is the purpose of the data deny reader. Now we can test it for the data data deny write permission. So this now we are going to discuss about command security. So I have to go for read, right? Where is the read account? Go for security, go for logins. Yeah. So this particular account having read permission, you cannot able to write the data. So let me go for these things. Run the command on. I connected as a read account and I'm trying to run the permissions. You can able to get the data. Why? Because he has select permission. I'm trying to insert the data. We will get the error. Why? Because he don't have insert permissions. The insert permission is denied. But now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for database object level grant permission. Then we'll see. How can we give it? Go for that particular database, Adi lab, then go to the security, then go to the user, then go to that particular user, right click, go to properties, then go to membership, we can see only data reader. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to object level grant as a insert permission to the bank account. Go for search, all objects, click OK. Then select the which objects you want to select. I'm selecting the tables as objects. Then once you click OK, in that here, which table we want to go for insert. Go for bank accounts. Here, what are the object level grant we can give? We can give alter permission. We can control, delete, insert, select, and take other permissions. Now, what I'm going to do, initially the account has a select permission. You cannot able to do any insert. But in the database level, the object level, I'm going to give insert permission. So if you want to click OK, but I want to show the T-SQL. So that is the reason I'm going to script out what we will get. Grant insert to object name to the user. See, grant insert on. After on, we have to give the object we want to insert permission. The last is the member we want to give the permission. So grant insert on object name to the user. So I have given the insert permission in the object level. So let me run one more time. So here I connected as a read account to the Adi Lab database. Previously, I was trying to insert the data. I got the error. But now I have given the object level insert permission. Let's see you can able to insert or not. See, now he was able to insert, right? But actually we have given the read permission, but not write. But in the object level, we have given. So the secure project, any bank project. So if some other people in the background, if they given insert permission, then what will happen? By looking at, he has a read permission, but he can able to do the write as well. So that scenario, we are going to avoid not to do any insert. That time we can go and give data deny write permission, so that the person can able to do only select operations, even though object level he has a insert permission as well. So now what I'm going to do, login as an admin account, then go to that particular database. No. Go to the admin account, go to the security, then go to the login, then go to the particular login. So object level permission, we have to go to the database and user. And database level role, we can go and give user as well, but always go for the login, then go to the user mapping, and you have to give the permission. So now what I'm going to do, go to the login, then go to the user mapping, then go to that particular database. So the database Adi Lab. So the person having data reader, he cannot able to do write. But our scenario here, we did not given write permission, but even though is able to do insert permission. So to avoiding that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give deny data writer. If you want, click OK, or else maybe you can go on script out. Alter role, data deny writer, and add member to that particular account. I'm going to execute. Now I have given the deny role. So let's go and try to execute previous statement. So I connected as a app one read access to the Adi lab database. So let's try to which one I have to go for? It's a right. Yeah. Let's try to execute. Go for. The insert parameter was delayed. Previously, we was able to execute, but now not. Why? Because the explicitly, if you given the grant insert permission also, but in the database level, we have given deny data reader. So that is the reason the database level role taking highest privilege, then it is denying the write permission. Now we can able to do select. So that is the main purpose of the data deny reader, data deny writer. So if any interview ask, we was able to explain the difference. Now we have another role called DDL admin. Okay, what are the DDL admin? If you give the database level, we have one more role called DDL admin database level role. So what are the, if you provide the DDL admin role to the account or login or user, then what he will do? What he will do means, if you go for here, if you give the DDL admin permission, the account can able to create the table, the person able to alter the table, the person able to drop the table, the person able to truncate the table, the person able to rename the table, and as well as he can able to execute the stored procedures. So if the request came, I need execute the stored procedure. I need able to modify the table. I can able to create the table. Which permission I want to give. That scenario we have to give DDL admin. But we have to make sure the giving the DDL admin permission, we need appropriate permission. Approval. Why? Because the DDL, if you give the DDL admin permission to the account, he can able to do those operations. Why? Because he can able to delete. Unfortunately, the data will be gone. So we have to make sure we have to get the proper approval. Then only we have to give the that particular permission. So let's see here. I connected as a read account. Let me drop the table. Drop table. Table name. See, that drop permission, he doesn't have X. Why? Because he has only read permission. The same thing he cannot able to create as well. Let me try to connect write account. The app one write account I connected. I'm trying to drop the table. The drop permission is denied. The same thing, he cannot create the table as well. He cannot modify the table as well. So let's see, we can create the one account giving the DDL admin permission. So we can go for syntax. Let's see. Yeah, the didn't permission. Okay. So now I'm going to create the, like we got a request, and then the request they mention, I need the account, I need the user on the Adi Lab database. I want to execute the stored procedure. I want to create the table. I want to drop the table. I want to modify the data. We got a request. As a, like he mentioned, I need the user. So here I mentioned user and login. The login is the server level, user is the database level. But in the request, they mention user. But initially here what we are doing, we are creating the login and mapping the user. So practically, if you want to create the user, first we need to create the login and we have to map the that login to the user database. Then user will create automatically. That is the uh, practically we can do. If you want to create the user, directly we can go on database and we can create. But while creating the user, we must specify the login. Then only user will create. So that is the reason we are creating the user from the login page. So I'm going to create the DDL admin account. I'm going to create the DDL user. I'm going to create the DDL login to the Adilab database. Yeah. I'm going to the Adilab database. Just click this one. Once we click, automatically user will uh, map based upon the login which you are giving. So user map that, if you unclick, it will glow. If you click here, it will map. So click the login at the database, then go to the DDL admin role. If you click OK, you can click OK. Otherwise, what we can do, just script out for T is equal to observe. So here we are creating the login as a DDL admin with the password. Then we are mapping to the database. Then once we map the database, automatically the create statement, it will create in the background to mapping that particular login to the same user. Then after that, in the background, it is going to alter the role as a DDL admin to that particular user. Just I'm going to execute. Suppose if you want to create the user, like create username, the login, try it. Will get an error that the login does not exist, or else you don't have permissions. So that is the reason. First we have to create the login, then map that login to the particular database. Then user will create automatically. Go and execute. Already exist. Okay, just now execute. Two times I clicked it. Okay. Now the login or user created. So now go and check. Go for database. Go for Adilab database. Then go to security. Then go to user. Now you can see app DDL user. Let me try to connect that user. So connect database engine, then select the SQL Server authentication, give the username app DDL and password. I give connected. Okay. So now we can perform these activities. Okay. So if you want to, I want to run the query for Adi database. So go here, right click, Adi Lab database. new query, so that you're no need to mention drag here or no need to give use database. We can directly run the execute. Why? Because directly we initiate the connection from the Adi lab. So first let's try to execute select statement. Here we connected the server using app DDL account. Here we have provided the permission as DDL admin permission. Let me try to execute. See, is not able to select. Why? Because we have given only create, alter, drop. So let's try to execute. Insert. Go for. See, insert permission is denied. Why? Because we did not give the insert permission. So let's try to create the table. See, the table was created. Why? Because we have given the permission as DDL. That means you can able to create the table, you can modify the table, you can drop the table as well, and you can execute the stored procedure. So let me drop the table. See, table was dropped. So he was able to drop. So I'm not going to show other things. We have to explore all the things. Okay. You can try to delete, update, modify, and you can say the difference. Okay. So here one more other roles. If you go here, we have a backup operator. If you provide the backup operator, what he will do? Suppose I have given the permission only DDL. If I am trying to perform the backup of the database, he was able to or not? We'll see. I'm trying to take the backup of the database. So he got the error. He doesn't have permission to take the backup. So if the any user is asking, I need the permission to take the backup of the database, how can we give it? So in this scenario, let me create the one account. Go to the login as a admin account, then create the login or create the user, create the account. New login, app, backup, go for here, uncheck it, go for the here, give the password, then go to user mapping. So user mapping, while mapping the user, automatically user will create under the that particular database. Previously in the Adi Lab database, we did not see the backup operator. Backup user, once we click here, the app backup user will mapping. Once you click here, backup operator, where it is? Backup operator. If you click OK, the user will create with backup operator database level role permission. Just I'm going to script out to see the T-SQL. If you want to click OK, we can click OK here also. So we have given, once we given backup app user came. So let me go here. Let me connect to that particular account. Backup. Go for the password. Connect. So let's try to perform these all activities. Go here, database, Adi Lab, new query. Come here, try to create table. You cannot, why? Because it doesn't have permission. Try to table, drop it, it doesn't have. Try to select, it doesn't have. But now try to take the backup. We'll see. See, he was able to take the backup, right? So if the user wants to take the backup permission, we have to give the backup operator. Suppose if you want to take the other database, you cannot. Why? Because we have given the permission to only Adi Lab. So open new query. Go for here. Change it to Adi. Go for Cooper prod. Execute. You got the error. Why? Because we have given the permission only for Adi Lab, not for other database. So that is the reason you can able to take the backup for only that particular database. This is the backup operator. Okay. So we have other database level roles. So in the real time, we are using data reader, data writer, DDL admin, backup operator, and one more important DB owner. We have DB security admin, we have DB access admin there, but security admin, access admin, we never used. So here, what is the purpose of? In the server level, we have only security admin. Coming to the database level, what was happen? The security admin dividing into two parts. One is security admin and another one is access admin. In the server level of security admin, you can able to create the login, you can able to modify, you can able to revoke the access as well. But in the database level, the security admin, he can able to create the users, but he cannot able to manage the remove the users. If you want to remove the users, we have to provide access admin. So here I'm not going to show this practical. If you want, you can go on play around. But in the real time, we are not using in the database level security admin and access admin. But theoretically, you have to know what will happen if you given the security admin. If you given the access admin, what the permission he will get. If you give security admin, he can able to create the user, but he cannot able to manage those user. If you give the access admin, he cannot able to create the user, but he can able to remove the users. The most important thing is DB owner. The DB owner means is a full access. In the server level, we have a role called sysadmin. Sysadmin means is at server level. You can do entire in the server level. The similar to database level, we have a full access. If you provide the DB owner, okay, if you provide the DB owner to account, what he can do? He can able to delete the database. He can able to take the backup. He can able to modify the data. He can able to create the data. He can able to rename the data. He can do everything in the database level. Why? Because he has a full control. So that is a reason. If someone asking DB owner permission in for the any account, we have to be careful. We have to get the appropriate approval. Then only we have to give the DB owner. Why? Because DB owner having full control. So let me create DB owner. Add DB owner in here. User mapping. Go on. Adi lab. I'm giving DB owner. Okay. Here I don't want to drop my Adilab database. Okay, I'm going to go for smaller database. So that is a reason I will map again prod database as well. So yesterday what I mentioned, one login will have multiple users because different databases. But one user will having one login. Click OK. This came. So connect the login or account or user which we created right now. Connect database engine. Go for here. App DB OW in here. Password. Click connect. We connected. Let me perform all these activities. Open new query. Here we have mapped the that login to two databases. That means this user will having permissions on two databases. One is prod, another one is Adi lab. So you can able to expand the data. You can able to expand the data. If you try to expand the new, you cannot. Why? Because we mapped or we have given the access to only two databases. So I connected the app application DB owner account to the named instance. Let me try to insert the data. See, because I'm running the query in the master. I'm not running in the Adi lab. So that is the reason we are getting invalid object name. So that is the reason whenever you run the query, as I mentioned, we have to make sure check in the top and as well as bottom. Always check in the bottom so that it will give the exact information the connection was established. Right now, the connection is established to the master database, not for the Adilab database. So if you go click here, now the connection is established to from master to Adilab database. Now you can go and execute, insert, he was able to execute. If you want to execute, you can select. If you want to create a table, you can create. If you want to drop table, you can drop it. If you want to execute the backup, you can execute. So if you want to delete the database, you can delete. So let me delete the database which we have given another database. Database prod. I connected as a app owner, and while dropping the connection, we have to connect the master, not for the prod database. If you connect to as a prod, the one connection will be established. You cannot drop. So go for drop. Maybe some connections are established. We'll get like error like the database is currently used. So database currently using. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop all the connections by using single user mode. Single underscore user. Rollback. IMM88. I mentioned that with rollback immediate means it will drop all the connection which are currently running, and it will terminate the prod database. Over here, looks like still few connections are open. See? No, database dropped. If you go and check here, database won't execute. Is not there, right? So that is the reason we have to be careful giving the DB owner permission to the account. So this is the database level role permissions. Okay. So now other important thing is, okay, right now here the user, what are the we have given, all the user able to see the SQL Server agent. No, right? I connected as a database owner, but he is not able to see the SQL Server agent. And here we have given the backup operator, but he is not able to see the SQL Server agent. So here we will get some special request. Like the user will ask, I need the, I want to create the job. I want to modify the job. I want to see the what are the jobs in the SQL Server. I want to some add the extra steps to the job. In this scenario, which permission I want to give. So it's very, very important practically and as well as interview purpose and some other security purpose as well. So the thing is like the other persons, we never give the permissions to create the jobs other than database team. So if any person will ask to create the jobs and modify permission, we should not. Why? Because if you give the permission, the person able to drop the jobs and the person able to modify the jobs, and he can able to create the jobs, he can able to run the jobs. Suppose if he created the jobs and if he is running under the job with bad queries, that will affect entire the server, right? So that is the reason we are deny the giving the permission for MS jobs, but to see the SQL Server agent. But even though the person got the approval from the higher management, he needs the to see the SQL Server agent, and he wants to schedule the jobs. That scenario, what we can do? So here we have a system database called MSDB, right? If you have the permission on the MSDB, you can able to do all the activities. So I don't want to give the MSDB entire permission, but As per request, you can able to create the jobs, modify the jobs, and view the jobs. So for that, we have a three uh, kind of a secure rules. Let me give that and show the practically so that you can able to see the SQL Server agent, and as well as you can able to create the modify the jobs as well. The interview is very important. He will ask the permissions what we have to given. So let me create the one account. For that, go to the that particular login as an admin account. Go to the security, create a new login. The request is only for creating the jobs and scheduling the jobs. Go for like SPA, like the user like a agent. I'm giving like a agent, giving the permission. Go for here, give the password, give here. Then go to user mapping. In the user mapping, go to the MSDB. Don't give the DB owner or some other permission. Just give the public permission. Okay. Then here backup, not backup operator. Yeah. So the MSDB, if you go bottom, we can see three roles: agent operator role, agent trader role, agent user role. We have to give this particular role in the MSDB. If you go other database, suppose if you go other database, click here, we can see only 9 roles. But if you go for MSDB, apart from this 9 roles, we can see other roles as well. Those are agent operator role, agent trader role, agent user role. If you give this 3 permission to that particular account, you can able to create the jobs, you can able to modify the jobs, you can able to see the jobs. Let me script out. Let me execute here. Okay. So here, alter role, operator role, alter reader role, alter agent SQL user role. So let me try to connect. Here I'm not going to execute. Why? Because in the graphical user interface, I already executed. Let me try to connect that particular account and see the difference. What is the account? Given agent, given the password, click connect. See here, he is able to see the SQL Server agent, right? Yesterday, I made a one comment. So if you are able to see the account, what I mentioned, our assumption is that account have a sysadmin, or else that particular addition as a enterprise or standard, some other things. In the evaluation addition, we cannot see it. But here we have given the MSDB. In that we have given 3 roles, right? That is the reason you can able to see the SQL Server agent. Now you can able to see the jobs what we have in the our main here. So here you can able to see the what are the jobs in the our main server. You can able to see, you can able to create, you can able to modify the jobs, you can able to schedule it, you can alter the things. So you can able to do the entire jobs level. So that is the reason we are not going to give the permission. But if someone asks as a approval, we have to provide using these rules. Okay, this is the very important. The interview, now they will expect I want to create the SQL Server agent types, jobs and modification which permission I need. That is a one interview question. So right now we discussed about the server level, database level, and other areas. Now we have one more thing called like a object level. So object level, here we already did practical like grant select, grant insert, grant update. Those are securable as a object level permission. So the interview will ask, I need the prod database. In that, I need only one table select permission. How can I give it? So what we can do? Grant select on table name to the user. That is a T-SQL. If the person want to expect graphical user interface, what you need to do? Go to the database, go to the user, then go to that particular properties, then go to the securables, then search it. In that search, select the appropriate objects. That may be stored procedure, that may be view, or that may be table. Then accordingly we can select it. Then select the grant appropriate condition. That may be select, that may be insert, that may be update. So interview will ask like individual table permission, individual stored permission, how you need to give. So you have to give grant keyword, then permission, then on table or view stored procedure. The last two, then last keyword is the user which you want to give. That is a object level. So we have other permissions like we can cover in the while discussing about the performance. Why? Because sometimes the user will ask, I need to run the some profiler. I want to run the some trace. I want to see the query execution plan. I want to see the some modifications. What are the permissions we have given? So in the security level, they will ask, the user wants to see the execution plan. Let me show here. So think about like this is the query. I want to see this particular query execution plan, how it is executing. So if you go and select estimation execution plan, you got the error. Okay. Now click this one, run as an admin, new query. See, the execution plan is coming right. So they will expect the thing like I want to see this type of execution plan for the query. How can I give it for one database? For entire databases, how can I give the permission to show the execution plan? Why? Because it's very important for the developer to see the how the query is executing. So that is the reason some users will expect, I want to see the query execution plan, which permission I want to give. That is important. Sometimes the user will expect, I want to see the what is happening and I need to collect the background, what are the queries are running. So for that, we need to run some profiler. So that running the profiler, I want which permission I have to give it. So these two permissions we can discuss while discussing about the performance tuning. But these two topics will come under the security. So nowadays, they will expect the questions this area. Like I want to see the execution plan, which permission I want to give. I want to I want to run the profiler, which permission I want to give. I want to create the endpoints, which permission I have to give. I want to create the linked server, which permission I want to give. I want to run the stored procedure only for one stored procedure, which permission I want to give. I want to execute select statement one table, which permission I want to give. I want to insert only one table, which permission I want to give. They are not asking direct, like what are the database level roles, what are the server level roles. Nowadays, they are not asking, but we need to understand clear cut of the database level roles, server level roles. Then only you can able to understand these object level permissions. So today, these are the topics, but in the security, we have two other important things. The thing is like what is the schemas and how can you create the database level roles. Okay, two topics are pending in the security. We can cover uh, next week, maybe Saturday or Sunday, or maybe next Tuesday. We can go for 30 minutes. We can connect because now I'm not giving the short notice for connecting the Tuesday. Next week we'll connect on the Tuesday. I will cover these two topics because Saturday, Sunday, Monday, if you take this class, it will take more than 3 to 4 months. So, as I mentioned, sometimes we can connect weekdays as well. So, next week, Tuesday, we can connect. I can cover what are the topics pending on for security, so that in the coming Saturday, we can go for fresh topic. Okay. Let me stop recording and you can ask if you have any doubts. I can clarify the topics which we covered in the database level roles, server level roles, and what is the login and what is the user, how can you give the object level permission, and some other areas you can ask if you have any doubts. Let me stop recording here.